up? Good afternoon, guys. How's it going?
Awesome.
It's all good, all good. It's nice and sunny here in Amsterdam, so I can't complain.
Nice.
We've got shitty. Our weather's typical Cape Town. It's been sunny and cold all day.
It's probably freezing outside, but the sun is out, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Francois, how's things at your side? Are you in PE starts? You were in PE this weekend, right?
Yeah, I actually had quite a bit of traveling this weekend. I played shows in PE and then in Hermanus last night.
Beautiful.
Last night, and I was in the gym this morning, so I feel like I've done a bit of traveling.
Like I'm sure you don't mind traveling after all the lockdowns and shit that shut you guys down.
Dude, yeah, it's amazing to play to people that's in the same room as you. It wasn't a given last year, you know what I mean? So it's fun to play to people in the same room. And I think we appreciate it more now than what we used to, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, last year it was a tough one to get through. But
does it feel like Francois, does it feel like you're back in your old Stellenbosch days where it's nice, intimate, like little crowds?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've always played little intimate theaters through the years as well. So I love doing that. The only problem with the intimate crowds is I can't actually afford to play with my full band, which is like the real deal.
Yeah.
So I miss playing with the full band, but we'll do that as soon as we can.
What's the like at the moment? What's the events back home? How many people can you have? Sorry, I'm out the loop a little bit.
50 indoors if the venue allows for 500. So you have to be at 50% capacity, but you can have 250 indoors and 500 outdoors. That's where we're at the moment. So it's actually
not terrible.
Sized, yeah. So not too bad.
Yeah. So let's jump straight in. Francois, tell us how you went from rock and roll and that lifestyle to now having an upcoming boxing match against the ex-rugby player.
Dude, I don't think if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think I would find myself here. It's just 2 years ago I had a fight for charity with a mate of mine, Rob van Vieren, the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I lost. I was like, damn, man. I really thought I won, like until the end of the fight. And so I had like 5 months of training 2 years ago. I had a fight, lost, and I always wanted to kind of get back into it. So the opportunity came this year through iTickets, the company that actually does most of our ticketing. So in this lockdown time, they did a lot of our online streaming shows and stuff like that, the ticketing for that. And it's a guy from iTickets, Albertus, and another company, Blue Banana, that came up with the concept of books of, I guess, celebrity fighting. And they asked me if I'm keen to box. I was like, I don't really actually have anything better to do. We're not playing a lot of shows at the moment. I've been running, so I'm kind of into fitness, I guess. So I was like, damn, yeah, let's get fit and do this thing. And when they brought Derick to the party, I was like, you know, he's shaped like about 20 years ago. I think I can take him.
Well, Francois comments here wants to know if Derick Kak gepraat het van jou. Was he always the first choice opponent, or how did that come about?
Dude, I think they actually wanted me to fight the more current rugby player, but I'm glad they couldn't find anyone because I don't know if I really want to take on someone that's in their prime condition. I'm 40 years old, so it's like someone that's been retired for 10 years. That's cool. I'm keen to do that, but
you have to even it out somehow, right?
Exactly. But Derick did tune me a bit of cock. Because I've got this little docu-series that came out like 10 weeks ago. It's actually the final episode of it tonight. I'm also putting it out online. But awesome. In the first episode, I talk about my rugby playing days in primary school and high school and shit like that. And then Derick chewed me a bit of cuck online about that, and that's a good reason to fight. You know what I mean?
You always need that little bit of inspiration somewhere. Like
Exactly.
even if it's tiny, you'll find it.
I'm not. I just want to moor him. You know what I mean?
Have you watched? I'm going to jump into it. I know it's a bit of. It's caused a bit of a stir in the MMA world, but have you watched any of these YouTube boxers? Boxing,
like Jake Paul and those.
Yeah.
I actually didn't watch that fight, but it was only like 30 seconds long. So I saw the highlights. I think I needed to see what I wanted
well,
to
as
see.
long as you're better than Nate Robinson, which was the ex-basketball pro, if anyone's better than that, then you already have a better spectacle, because that is probably one of the worst things I've ever watched in my life.
Really? Okay, fuck. So I'm gonna watch that just to make sure our fight looks a little bit better than that. Okay?
Well, put it this way: just don't walk backwards a lot. As long as you're walking forwards, then that's okay. Now you've already improved.
Okay.
And also, Franco, I think I speak for the rest of the sort of boxing fighting community. If you do well in this fight and you can somehow get your hands on Jake Paul and fuck him up for everyone, you do
That'd
us
be
all
lovely.
a big favor.
Dude, yeah. Obviously, I actually 2 years ago I had that fight, and I've been playing rugby in the tens tournaments a couple of times. So I really thought my contact sport career was over until this opportunity came along. So never say never, bro. I might take another fight. Maybe I retire completely. I don't know. We'll see. See how it goes.
So, let's put it this way. If there's any celeb, one local celeb and one international celeb that you'd really want to fight, who would that be?
Okay, locally, Derick Hougaard, obviously. Internationally, I haven't really thought about that yet, Brad Pitt in his Fight Club shape.
Oh, geez, like it. You really want to test yourself, don't you?
En jy het ons gedink jy's nie meer so mal soos wat jy was nie.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, I'm all of a sudden I'm boxing, bro. I'm crazy as fuck.
So tell us a bit about the training regime that you said you did a bit of running you've been running. But obviously you obviously need to train a bit more for this now.
Yeah. Dude, I started training with a guy called Johannes Sali in Belleville in my hometown. And then a couple of 4 weeks ago, I started training at Mad Fit in Cape Town with Matt Leishing. And dude, I guess I'm learning to do the basics well. I think that's kind of the most important thing, to get my defense tight, because I think Derick is going to come out swinging, because he's obviously got a way bigger arm than me. He's at the moment, his weight, I think he's about 15 kilograms heavier than me at the moment. He's supposed to come down a bit for the fight. But
what weight class are you fighting at?
Sorry?
What weight class are you fighting at?
I'm not sure. I guess it's heavyweight, bro. But because I'm 80 kilograms and he's supposed to come down to 88. That's what we agreed on before the fight. I think he was at about 95. So we'll fight around those weights. The fight is not going to get cancelled if he doesn't get to that weight. You know what I mean? I'll have to take him whatever size he is, and I'm going to be ready for that. So I'm kind of training to get the basics as tight as possible in the limited time we have, that's the most important vibe for me. I want to respect the sport and at least put on a spectacle that people can watch for a little bit,
Yeah.
Francois, do you have any? Are you? Sorry, I lost my train of thought now. Have you been sparring at all lately?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what the situations are in gyms, so that could possibly be an interesting thing to get people into camps to sparring and stuff like that. Right now,
I've been sparring, bro, and I'm sparring every week now until fight time, which is like 5 weeks away. So, and that's been cool. Obviously, it's a different thing from eating pads to eating someone and getting it. So it
Trains the body up well.
yeah, big part of getting conditioned to actually get into the ring. So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
And the previous fight you mentioned that you lost, did you lose that on points?
On points, yeah, dude. I thought I won. It was one of those where Rob is a very good friend of mine. He was bleeding and he had a black eye, and I was like, obviously, I'm winning. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
You do know the first rule of fighting is never trust boxing judges.
Yeah, the fuckers.
Yeah.
I blamed them. I was like, how does the sport work?
The judges can't say anything about a knockout, so that's always the safest route.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get you.
So, Keith?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask. I know, well, this isn't a recent thing, your transformation, if you can say, like becoming a healthy, fitter person. Like, we obviously, as fans of yours, as rockstar fans of yours and your bands and everything that you've been part of to what you're doing now, this whole journey that you've been going through, especially your, let's say body transformation and just you as a person transformation, do you think you ever saw yourself going down these routes where you would be doing charity boxing and, playing a bit of rugby? We know in your younger days, you were the full-on rock star, you still are the rock star, but you were the wild rock star that we all wanted. And we, as youngsters, you strive to be that. You wanted to be one of those. And then all of a sudden, Francois goes into a big loop in his life, becomes like this mellower man and starts working out and looking after himself. Did you actually see yourself going down that path? And do you think like that path has actually pushed you into, trying things that you've never done before?
Yeah, dude, it's an interesting question. Actually, no one's ever asked me that. But I mean, when I was young, I didn't think about 5 years in advance. I was really living in the moment. And I mean, if we talk about my early music days, early days of Fok of Politica, I didn't think I was going to make it past 30. You know what I mean? So,
well, I've been to enough shows and I didn't think you were going to make it past 30.
Dude, it was like kind of no holds barred partying. It was like I was kind of on this mission to prove my freedom to myself and to everyone around me and liberate myself from everything that was a hang up in my past. So that involved like, pushing my body to the limit on stage, partying as hard as I possibly can, all of those things was a part of it. But it was obviously a positive thing in the beginning, kind of expressing my freedom, but it became a very negative thing. Like my partying, it just the negatives outweighed the positives eventually. And I kind of turned the taps off on that vibe completely, like 6 years ago. So that was the immediate change. That changed things a lot. And from then I kind of slowly but surely got into exercising. But I was completely overweight and like in super bad shape. I didn't do anything for like 14 years, bro. From when I was 19 till I was 33, I didn't do fuck all exercise. Besides for headbanging on stage. Always like after a show, it was always tanked up for 10 hours of drinking after that. So my body was in bad shape, and in that time I would tell myself, like one day I'm going to be a fitness freak. One day I'm going to be a fitness freak. It was like really something that was impossible to achieve, and also kind of sarcastic because I never really thought that is actually an option. But now I am that guy that trains 7 days a week. So it's like I feel like it is complete transformation. And if I didn't turn the taps down on my partying habits, I don't think I would be either alive today and definitely not working out, and definitely not boxing or playing rugby or anything like that. So it was a massive process of like becoming older, becoming a family man, having children. All of those things go hand in hand. Also getting older and growing up, I guess everything a part of it all.
Do you feel it's a substitute almost, like the exercise is a substitute to almost like that crave for that wild lifestyle, that party? You would crave that show, and then that adrenaline would obviously take you to, a day, like the evenings or mornings of partying, take you through. Now you find exercise is almost like that adrenaline that you have for like, you need that to get your day going almost, or you need to finish your day by exercising. And that's normally like the substitute for closing off your day. Do you feel that is sort of maybe, I would say, you've swapped it out for something else?
Yeah, dude, definitely. I know a lot of people that are in the position that I was 6 years ago that can't get out of that thing. And I think exercising definitely is a bit of a substitute for me as well. For me, because I like to push things to the limit. You know what I mean? That's just kind of my personality. And I just needed something else to push. You know what I mean?
So what was your reaction of your family? You've sort of come down from bad habits and whatever, and like you said, really became a bit of a family man and everything. And now you come home one day and tell them, listen, I'm going to go box an ex-rugby player.
Dude, my wife knows that I always kind of do the extreme thing. So she knows like I will always do something stupid or crazy like that. She also doesn't really dig that I'm playing rugby when I'm 40 against guys that club rugby, So, but she knows I am a little bit of an extremist, so she's fine with it. And I think for my wife, in the early days of our relationship, she thought I was going to die every time I go out. So anything is better than that.
Yeah, it's better to come home with a blue eye than not come home.
Exactly.
So on the point of blue eyes, Francois.
It's still a no-no.
On the point of blue-eyed, Francois, I know in the wild days there were plenty of rumors of fights and bouts and whatever going on. Some of them, I'm sure, more true, and others maybe not so much. What would you say overall? We know you've got your one professional fight, but what would you say is your win-loss ratio for all the fights in your life?
Dude, I don't think I've won any, eh? This will probably be my first win against Derick. But dude, I've been in plenty bar fights. I've been in a lot of fights with my best mate, Wynand Meiberg. He's the bassist of Folk of Politica. He's also my manager and now in my solo capacity. But we're like brothers, so I guess we had like super weird, like a weird kind of sibling rivalry in our 20s. And we used to moor each other a lot. I used to lose a lot. He broke his thumb against my head, and we ended up in hospital lying again next to one another in Potchefstroom. It's been extreme fights. We've also been in fights together against other people. We were murdered in Nelspruit by these 5 boere, very, very hard in our early days, 2004. The only thing I got on the fight was like this boere guy was on top of me and his leg was in front of my face and he had a rugby short on, so I could like just see his leg right there. But I got on the whole fight. Yeah, I've never really won. I think I've won a fight with someone that didn't look, one of those where I just ran with it. But
the poor guy wasn't even part of the fight.
Exactly. And then I heard after that weekend that he was actually a friend of my wife's from school. So I was in super big trouble about that one as well. But that I'm talking like years ago, the crazy days.
Well, at least we know you know how to lose now. So it's time to turn the page.
Yeah.
You just need that one result. You just need that one result, and then you'll probably be hooked and be booking your next fight. As soon as you get that adrenaline rush.
People only remember your last fight. So
okay, cool. Yeah, this will be the last one for now, right?
For now. You always you do what every other fighter does. It'll be like, we'll have a look at it we'll have a look at it in the weeks to come. So that's the only answer you say. Like, we'll have a look, we'll go back and think about it.
I see like me learning a little bit more of the fighting game. I see you just pick guys that are shittier than you and then win, and then you've got like a clean sheet. That's the vibe, eh?
That's the boxing world. That is the boxing world completely. Yeah. You handpick every opponent.
Have you always been interested in boxing and combat sports and like UFC, or is it just a new thing now?
Dude, like from my previous fight, that's the first time I kind of really got into it. So I watch a bit of UFC now. I watch whatever boxing I can see. When I was a lighter, I guess I loved like the heavyweights, you know, Tyson, Muhammad Ali, what I saw when I was a kid. Loved that, but never really got into it until about 2 years ago.
And now do you watch UFC regularly? Did you watch this weekend?
I did. Dude, I actually missed Sunday morning, but I watched the highlights. I saw what happened.
A couple of big fucking knockouts in that. Did you see what was his name, Keegan, that broke his leg?
Oh my God!
Chris Weidman broke his leg with a.
It was. Dude, I'm so glad we're not kicking, because Derick has got quite a serious kicking leg.
Good.
But it's.
Would you consider going into MMA or stick to boxing?
Dude, that grappling and wrestling and shit looks hectic, man. I don't know. Like, I already get tired punching. Like, I don't want to grapple. That looks too hectic for me, bro. I'll stick to boxing.
It might be a silly question. But are you wearing helmets, face masks, or whatever, or not? Oh yeah. Okay, because I know those things without fights with those need to be sanctioned. I know it's a long ass story and goes about it. So that's why.
Yeah.
It protects. At least you know you're not going to have too many CT problems later down the line.
Yeah.
You can have quite a few fights now.
Cool. Never say never, bro. Never say never.
I've got a feeling, Franco, if you win this, I've got a feeling we'll see you again in the ring.
Okay. Yeah, I think the bug bites. And he starts calling people out.
Yeah. I really dig the training and I really dig the fitness. So I can say on that level, I'm keen to carry on. We'll see if I wanna fight someone else.
So what does your training look like now? You know, like an average week of training. What are you working on every day?
So this, I was training this morning, so we just worked on basic things today. Just in the ring with Matt on pads, and I'm sparring with one of the pro guys tomorrow. Just doing like drills, not proper hard sparring, and then I have a hard sparring session on Wednesday, and then the rest of the week I'm just going to be running and stuff like that. And next week, I'll probably have 4 sessions in the gym and running on the off days. And I'm trying to put in 2 sessions a day, run at night and boxing in the morning on the boxing days as well. So, yeah, I've never trained like this before. I don't think I've ever been this fit since ever.
Well, your performing must be a breeze now. Like if you had to be on.
Like I said, I'm only playing acoustic shows, so I actually don't get to open up the lungs properly.
That might be a good thing, because you'll probably go on even crazier than you used to.
Yeah, talking about 40, I'll be feeling good. I like it.
Was dit 'n question hier van 'n viewer wat wil weet of ons het gesien jy het getrain met Tian Fuk, die SA heavyweight champ. Hoe dit gegaan en het dit jou baie gehelp?
Dude, ek sien actually vir Tiaan baie gereeld in die gym en hy help my die hele tyd. So ja, dis great. Tiaan gaan ook in my corner wees by die fight. So hy's kind of op 'n manier deel van die team wat my train Matt en hy. So ja, dis amazing. Hy's 'n amazing boxer. Hy's so slick, jy weet, as 'n mens met hom spaar, jy weet ek het klein like ligte sparring sessions met hom, maar jy weet dis amper onmoontlik om hom te slaan. So dit is goeie oefening en hy is donders fik. So hy hou my op my tone daar ook. So dis great om saam met hom te werk, jy weet, hy's 'n nice dude en ek het baie respek vir hom. So dis lekker, ja, it's awesome.
Awesome, yeah. We'll probably try and get Tiaan on the show maybe a week or two before the fight, and we'll also see let's see what he thinks of your boxing style and skills.
Cool, awesome.
We'll make him do predictions. We'll put him on the line.
We must get to Francois' own prediction. We'll get to that still.
Yeah. Francois, like are you do you find that are you finding like the boxing culture in a way in the country, and that obviously we see it from an outside, so I would say boxing in South Africa, and I think all three of us could probably say, like, sitting at home and on the seat, like, you only see bits and pieces of it. We don't really we're able to indulge in the whole culture of boxing in the country. As someone that's now training in the culture and learning the basics and being part of coaching teams and different coaches and different sparring partners, what would you say is the boxing culture in South Africa like?
Dude, I've been getting messages from the strangest people on social media. So I think there's a lot of weirdos in the boxing world, which is great. It feels a lot like the music industry, you know what I mean? So it seems pretty familiar. But where I'm training now at Madford, it's like there's some serious focus there. You know, I think Matt is training some of the serious pros in the country. So yeah, it feels like it was the right fit for me. Yeah, I've been connecting with some crazy boxing people all around the country, and I'm quite interested to see there's like 4 pre-fights before our fight at Boksop. So I'm interested to meet some more people in the boxing world and just rub shoulders with them. But yeah, it's been cool, man. I must say, I spoke to someone like Tiaan, and you know, like, I don't want our fight to kind of be something that people in the boxing and fighting world look at as a joke. And Tiaan told me that he thinks it's a good thing, you know, to get eyes on boxing with kind of these celebrity fights. So I just want to do my best at actually boxing, and hopefully it can help the sport in the country as well.
Yeah, that's a good point that you're saying, because I think a lot of these international celebrity fights have become so watered down, and it's not always the most professional setup. But I think so far it looks like these guys are putting up a decent show with you guys. The undercard fights, Francois, is that normal, like actual boxers, or is there other celebs involved as well?
No. It's all other amateur boxers, as far as I know. Okay. I did meet some of the Oaks. I can't remember all their names, or actually anyone's name, if I have to think about it now. I know there's an MMA guy fight at boxing, a 9mm, Johnny 9mm, someone like that.
I don't know. I'm not very clued up with local boxers.
Yeah, but So they're all amateur South African boxers.
And the fight's in Pretoria, right?
At the Sun Arena, yeah.
Are you going to go up a little bit early just to get used to the altitude, or are you just going to fight?
Dude, I'm actually just going up one day before for the weigh-in. I've been in Pretoria recently and I trained a bit up there. So the altitude didn't make that much of a difference for me. But I'm gonna make sure I'm fit enough to get that get over that.
I remember when I was a kid, I did attended SA Judos in Pretoria, and I remember that fucked me up.
Is that
Yes, I struggled there. Well, that and I just wasn't good enough for some of the guys. But tell me, Francois, how many rounds are you going?
Dude, yeah, so it's a weird fight. It's not my previous fight was kind of a normal amateur 3 rounds, 3 minutes. But this one is a 6-round, 1.5 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I think that will probably favor the less fitter fighter, which I think is Derick at the moment. But I'm training 3-minute rounds, so I'll be ready for 1.5 anyways.
Is that going to force you to come out the blocks a little bit quicker? Seeing that it's only a minute or so.
Dude, I think actually Derick might come in a little bit hotter than me, because I think he's gonna have a bigger punch than me, dude. He's like 10 kgs probably bigger than me, so I think he's gonna come for the big shots. I think I'm gonna be composed in the beginning and just have my defense very tight, and then I'll start climbing in a little bit later in the fight.
You're gonna Floyd it a little bit, bob and weave, get him tired, and then go.
Yeah, I think I'll come in with a couple of shots, but not very hard in the first 2 rounds. Definitely not. Or that's my plan.
Yeah. Well, I think Derick definitely almost has a bit more to prove, because he's sort of got the whole rugby crowd on his back. And I don't think it's a good look for a rugby guy to get knocked out by a musician.
Yeah, he's got probably a bit more to lose in terms of bragging rights. You know what I mean? I think.
I don't think you're allowed back in Pretoria if he gets knocked out.
For me, if I can, it's serious bragging rights if you say you actually beat a Springbok in the boxing ring. You know what I mean?
Well, can I tell you one thing, Francois? Do you know what amazing it will be? Because we are all Bellville boys. Well, we're all Northern Suburbs boys. Maybe not all Bellville boys. So how amazing would it be if you say a Northern Suburbs boy knocked out a boy from freaking Pretoria, and especially a blue ball? So that would be even better.
Exactly.
So
I'm doing it for the Northern Suburbs, the whole of Cape Town, the punks, the misfits, you know.
I was just going to say, this reminds me of when I was in school, and there was always like you say, the misfits, the skateboarding crowd versus the jocks. And you can finally get some revenge through one of our own heroes.
Exactly. No, I've been thinking about that.
And no pressure, Francois.
we can just broaden this whole thing. It's not just misfits. It's North versus South. We know that's a big thing. It's Cape Town versus Pretoria, which is a big thing in rugby and big thing in any sport in South Africa. So we can really drag this thing into a lot of pressure on Francois' shoulders if we really want to do that.
Yes, I'm happy to handle it for all of us. The Sun Arena is also kind of like my home, I guess, more than Derick's. You know, Loftus is definitely his home, but I did my two biggest shows of my career was in the Sun Arena, my Francois and Vrienden shows in 2018 and 2019. So I feel like it's also a bit of a homecoming for me after COVID and everything. Or I haven't been there, so I'm keen to go prove myself there as well.
Francois, how many people in the arena? Sorry, crowd size or no? Will there be a crowd? Won't there be a crowd? I'm not too sure about how's that.
Yeah, so like I said, 250 is the maximum indoor. So there's 250 tickets available for seating inside the arena. Yeah, it's kind of a VIP expensive ticket. I think there's only like 60 of those left, and then outside they're gonna have a big screen that can house 500 people. Like I said, 500 outdoors do at the moment, and then it's obviously getting streamed through iTickets, and they also showing it in a couple of new metros around the country. I think 5 new metros. I know in the northern suburbs they're showing it at Canal Walk.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a good thing. I might go and watch it there.
Nice. With the slush puppy and popcorn, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the link. Someone's gonna have to send me the link so I can stream it then.
Yeah. Well, the link for anyone that does want to buy tickets, it should be in the description of this video. I put it in there earlier, so you can follow that, and it's only 150 rand, which I thought was not bad at all.
Another thing, is this? Are we going into? Could we see future charity boxing events like this, where maybe more, let's say, celebrities, South African celebrities? Francois, do you think that's quite a nice thing of you know, as artists, or artists against former sports stars, find something that you all agree on, and maybe push it towards that?
Dude, yeah, for charity, I would definitely do something like this again. Like that. This fight is not for charity though, but I mean the previous one I did was for charity, and for charity, I think people ask me a lot to do shows for charity, and I always find that a little bit weird because very hard to actually make money from playing the show.
Yeah,
you don't have sponsors, so if I can find any other way to do charity stuff, I do that, and I'll definitely do it again for charity, whatever is needed. I think they are definitely planning more boxop events if this one goes well. I know a lot of people want to see the Bullet fight. His name come up plenty of times in talks around celebrity fighting, and I know Stephen Kitsov is training at the same gym as me. And Matt that train us thinks Stephen will be a great celeb to have in the ring. So I think more of this will happen.
I think it could only be good for boxing. I think, like you said, it's more about getting the sport out there, and I think if everyone shows their respect to the sport, I think it can only grow the sport. Then do an injustice to the sport. So I think we've got to having people like you that are willing to do this and willing to put yourself through all of this for, yes, it's a bit of, you get personal satisfaction from it, but also you're doing something good at the end of the day for it as well. I think it can only create a better environment back home, especially for a sport that, could do with more eyes, could probably do with more money in it and things like that.
Like I said, I spoke to Tian, and I know the kind of money that is involved in the fights that they do, and it just doesn't justify the work they put into it. So I really hope this can grow the sport in South Africa. If I can have this much of a part in helping that would be amazing.
Cool. You're gonna have to do a performance where you've obviously watched the Anthony Joshua fights and the I think it was Joshua versus Wilder. No, so that was Fury Wilder. But where you've got artists busy bringing fighters into the ring, so you might get some gigs that way as well.
I've actually done that for an MMA fight for Gideon.
Oh, you did? Yes, you did do it for Gideon. You did, I remember. Yes.
He lost that fight though, so I
did.
might be a bad omen.
Well, I actually got to talk about it. We're supposed to have Gideon sometime on the podcast as well, and I actually wanted my thing to him is the first time he ever won the title, he walked out to Katy Perry's what's it something Eye of the Tiger or something like that from Katy Perry and that.
Oh, I think I remember that.
And it was his first fight at Grand Arena, and he fucking dominated. So, so I really, really won't be against him doing that again, just so he can win a title.
There's been a couple of guys that came out to some of our Folk of Politico songs. I know a dude came out on Koma, which is like a piano ballad. That's quite weird. And someone else, a dude from Pretoria, also came out on Antipoetica a couple of. So that's always cool. I would love to bring it out.
I suppose it begs the question: are you going to come out to one of your own songs, or will you pick a different song?
Dude, that you don't understand how much thought I've put into this. Like, I've had like lists, and for different reasons, I've picked different songs. But I think I will actually come out to one of my own at the end of the day, bro.
Awesome, that's cool. Or you should maybe write a new song.
Dude, and there is also a new one in the works that, if all goes well, I will probably launch in the week afterwards.
There we go. There could be promo.
Has it got anything to do?
Fighting and music, something amazing can happen.
Does the song have anything to do with fighting, or is it just?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Awesome. That would be amazing.
Well, if you're going to pick an oldie, Hemel op die Platteland would be a great one.
Dude, I think I'm going to go with Dagdrome in Suburbia.
That's a great one as well.
That's a good stuff, yeah.
Because I think, we're going to be in Pretoria. I think there's going to be a bunch of my fans in the audience. And I think it's going to just amp up the vibe the best. So I think that's the one. I've gone through AC/DC, Queens of the Stone Age, The Doors. And I think I'm actually sticking with my own tunes for this one.
Yeah, but that's brilliant. I don't think there's many boxers that can say they walked out to their own music.
I love that you called me a boxer, dude.
Hey, it's your second fight, which is more than what I've had. So
I've actually got an opponent ready for Francois as well. I think afterwards, if he gets the win, he's got to go for another rugby player, and I think he needs to call Sonny Bill Williams out. How great would that be? Okay. That would be a great one.
I think Tian Fick must take Sonny Bill instead of me.
That's not a bad idea at all.
You always know the White Buffalo is keen for a fight.
Oh my goodness, bro! I saw him fight a couple of times.
I think your age you definitely will be quicker than him if you fight him right now. Must be.
Let me check.
Must be deep into 60s or 70s, or I don't know, somewhere along those lines. I'm just throwing it out there. But the last time he fought Sonny Bill, he didn't look in great shape. So, and I thought he won the fight.
So he's only 12 years older than you.
Is it Francois Botha? What's his name?
Francois Botha, yeah.
Botha, yeah.
Well, you fought Tyson, right?
Yeah, Tyson hit him. He almost hit him through literally out of the ring.
I remember that fight.
I think I remember waking up really early for that fight as a kid and just almost seeing him find the first row of spectators when he was hit so hard.
Yeah.
At least he's been in massive bouts, bro.
He's been in huge.
Yeah. He was a decent boxer in the day.
Cool.
So, Francois, before we let you go,
like me.
Oh wait, this is one thing I wanted to ask you as well, Francois. All proper boxers have nicknames. Do you have a nickname?
Derick is Liefling, obviously.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably Francois the Belleville Breaker van Coke.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think Van Coke is probably good enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
Other than
from your
side? Boxing related, not really, but I'm going to touch on music related stuff. First of all, when can I see you in Amsterdam? When are you coming to do a show here, please?
Dude, we would love to be back. There was actually talks about coming out in December, but I think it might just be a little bit too complicated with flights and quarantine and stuff like that. So we actually decided not to do it. But I think my friend Jack Parrow will be there in December. He's got a Parrow Fest happening in Vredenburg, I think.
Yeah.
I was there with him in 2019. It's an amazing little festival. But I'll be back as soon as possible, bro. I come quite regularly. I think I've been there in the like every second year since about 2004. So as soon as we can travel and pack out venues, then I'll be there, bro.
Well, that's great because I think festivals are allowed here from July. I think we're allowed to have festivals again. So I will make sure I'm in the front row somewhere and coming to have a watch. And yeah, what any plans for new album? Any plans for any cool shows coming up? I mean, I know you guys, obviously you said you're allowed to do a bit of shows now and you're in PE lately. So anything we can look forward to?
Dude, yeah, it's actually a little bit tough to organize things properly because there's obviously still talks of a third wave or possibility of a third wave. And last year, December, we were packed out with shows. I think I had like 20 bookings through December, and then I think 15 of them got cancelled because of the second wave. It's quite hard to plan things properly at the moment, but we are putting things in place like kind of short term. So I've got a couple of shows coming in June across the country. I guess people can just check out my website. I'm from Pretoria, Rustenburg, and then also on the East Coast, some things. So all over the place. I just hope we don't get locked down again, but hopefully not. But we'll be playing all over the place. I'm working on a new solo album that will probably be released in 2022. And we're also writing new Folk of Police car material.
That is the next question. When's the band getting back together?
Yeah, so with Folk of, we obviously, it was a tough year for playing shows. So we actually only had 2 shows in the whole of 2020. It was 2 live stream shows. One was our 17th birthday, and another one was kind of an acoustic show, kind of the opposite of that one. But we're working on new tunes, and we will be playing as soon as we can play bigger events. I think we're actually playing the weekend before my fight. We're playing one show in Cape Town and one in Pretoria. I was like really oohing and ahhing if I want to do like 2 shows before the fight, but I'm going to. I'll probably have to run and shit in between. And
will we ever see a fun for Francois? Will we ever see a Fun for Fantastic show ever again?
Dude, I would love to. I would love to do that. The thing with Fun for Fantastic is it's just very hard with all those parties involved. It's just like a massive amount of people to keep happy.
Lockdown as well, probably.
Yeah. So I think most of us would want to do it again. I think there's some of the guys a little bit opposed to the idea, but most of us would want to do it again. And I think if the time is right, we'll definitely do it again.
I think you need to do that international, just one international show like that.
That's
I think
we'll bring it to Melkweg and you can come.
There we go. Do it.
Your name's
Francois, there's one comment here from Jillian who'd basically just like to know where can she get in touch with you for bookings?
Jillian, just mail bookings at francoisvancoke.co.za. Easy as that. And we would love to play at your wedding anytime.
Cool. Before we let you go, Francois, one last question from my side. If I had a spare 1,000 Rand lying around, who should I put my money on?
Dude, you know who's been training harder, who's putting in the hours. Just make the right choice and go with Northern Suburbs, brother.
There we go.
I'm gonna go one more for another betting tip. Francois, if I had a spare 1,000 Rand lying around and I wanted to be really specific, how is this fight ending?
Dude, I'll say TKO, but not in the first 2 rounds. I'll say from 3rd onwards.
There we go. We need to get those betting odds now.
Thanks so much for joining us. All the best with the fight, and maybe we'll see you for a follow-up after the fight.
Yeah.
With a win, with a 1 in the win column.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time, man.
Thanks,
Thank you for your time.
It's weird chatting so much sport. I've never done it. Lovely. Thank you so much.
Get used to it.
I tell my friends this is my last shot at sporting glory at 40. So I'm a man on a mission.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Bye bye.